Today I want to talk to you about sprouts. This seems to be something that's been overlooked by most other prepper channels that I watch, and I think sprouting is a great alternative if you cannot garden where you're at, if you live in the city or something like that, or if you live in an area like I do where it's very shady and it's hard to grow anything. Sprouts kind of get a bad rap because the commercially grown ones have often had outbreaks of salmonella and E. coli, and they often are not sold in grocery stores anymore, and a lot of farmers markets won't allow them. But as long as you grow them in a jar with clean water and you're careful that your hands are clean when you're handling them, you shouldn't have any problems with them. I've grown sprouts for years. They're easy to grow. They take up hardly any space. They need very little sunlight. They don't need a lot of sunlight like plants in your garden need. And usually they're ready in 3 to 4 days. You can grow sprouts from just about any kind of seed, although some are better than others. A lot of good seeds are like broccoli sprouts, mung bean sprouts, soybean sprouts, wheat sprouts, lentil sprouts. Quinoa can be sprouted, amaranth, buckwheat, sesame, sunflowers, almonds, hazelnut, hemp, linseed, peanut seeds. Like I said, broccoli, cabbage, watercress, mustard, mizuna, radish, arugula, turnip. You can also sprout or grow microgreens, which is another good alternative to outdoor gardening to get your vegetables. But good microgreens, carrots, celery, fennel, parsley. There's just a lot of options. Spinach, lettuce, milk thistle, lemongrass. I mean, just about anything, you name it. I would stay away from kidney beans because red kidney beans, if you don't handle them right, can actually be toxic. So I would just not even mess with those. There's so many other options. You can get sprouting seeds just about anywhere. I mean, if you can just go to the store and buy dried beans, you can sprout, or lentils, you can sprout those. There's also lots of options on Amazon to order sprouting seeds, bulk sprouting seeds, 5 pounds, are relatively cheap and they'll last a long time. You can grow a lot of sprouts with that. There's a lot of options for growing sprouts. There's these plastic containers, round plastic containers that stack, and you pour water in the top. They drain through all the sprouts, and then there's a catch basin at the bottom to catch all the water. And you just do that. They say to do it 2 to 4 times a day. I've gotten away with doing it once a day. The sprouts still turn out fine. But this is the option that I use because you don't have to be right by the sink and let everything drain in the sink. You can just pour the water in it, put the lid on it, and forget about it until the next time you're going to do it. And then you're supposed to change the order the lids are stacked in as well, so you don't have uneven watering. The other way is using glass mason jars. You can just buy these lids that drain the water, but then, like I said, you've got to be at the sink all the time to make sure the water drains into the sink. Some of them come with these little holders that keep the jars at an angle, so you can just leave them by the sink and let them drain. But if you don't have good light at your sink, then this may not be a good option. For me, the plastic containers, I pour the water in it and set it right up on the windowsill in the kitchen. And like I said, we don't get a lot of light there, but it's enough. And usually I've got sprouts within 3 to 4 days, sometimes a little longer, but it'll fill the plastic trays with sprouts, and you've got good vegetable. If you can't grow outside, it's a great option. And like I said, the stuff stays fine. Like, I've never gotten sick or anything as long as you're careful with it and use clean water. It's not like growing commercially where they're grown outdoors or in a field even, and they're more susceptible to bacteria. Sprouts are also very nutritious to eat because of the process of germination. It releases a lot of nutrition that otherwise wouldn't be available. So they're just, like I said, a great alternative all the way around. I think they're overlooked. I never hear anybody talk about sprouts, but this is, like I said, a great option if you live in a city that takes up virtually no space at all. You can grow these things on your windowsills and have food, have your green food that you should be eating that you may not be able to prep for. So this should be something included in your preps, and it's pretty inexpensive to buy the equipment to sprout the seeds and get the seeds themselves. The seeds will store forever, so this is something you should be considering. And like I said, you can order seeds on Amazon, and you can even put them on the auto delivery, so you get a bag of seeds every month or whatever you decide, so you can stockpile these and put them away and have plenty of seeds to sprout. So think about that. If you've got limited space or limited daylight or limited gardening space, this is a great alternative. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.